So this is the die set that I'm using. It's from the In the Window collection by Creative Craft Products. Like I said, I have used this in a couple of tutorials before, so I'll link that up here as well. So really lovely little set, and I'll talk through the pieces that I've used in a moment. And then for all of the plants, I've taken my Perfect Plants stamp set, and I actually used this the other day as well for a tower fold card, and that's on my, it will be on my Made to Surprise channel. Hopefully it's up by now, but you can check that one out as well. So you want to cut yourself a piece of 8 3/4 by 5 3/8. So it's a bit of a funny one. It's going to be just under 6 by 6. The reason why it comes in this much here is because I've need it to fit with these frames. So if you're, you've got different frames that you're using, or you're going to cut strips of white card and make that look, which I'll talk you through in a moment, then that can be 6 inches. So do 6 by 8 3/4. So along the 8 3/4 side, you want to score at 1/4 inch. So I've just got a small 1/4 inch tab, then 6 1/4, 7 1/4, and 8 1/4. Okay, and then my acetate is 6 1/4 by that same 5 3/8, or 6. Along the 6 1/4 side, you want to score at 1/4 inch. Okay, I've then got another piece of acetate. This is optional if you want to have things looking like they're suspended and kind of floating. Then this is that same width, so 5 3/8, or 6 by 5. Okay, so first of all, with your cardstock, you want to fold. So you've got a mounting fold with that 1/4 inch section there, and then another mounting fold, valley, and a mounting. So you'll have something like that. You've then got your acetate piece with your 1/4 inch piece there, and that will stick to the top here. Now, if you don't want to have the suspended bit, you don't need the 1/4 inch tab. You can just cut that off and you can stick it onto this. Okay, and then the bottom half's going to stick to this, and then we've got everything, the frames and that are going to cover all of this detail. But what I also want to do is stick this piece of acetate first and have it just hanging. Okay, because then we're going to have things attached to it, and that's going to keep it suspended. So I'm going to use my thin tape and just run that along the top there. Take that piece of acetate, make sure it's the right width, and then that will run along the top. And then, so right now that's what we've got, just hanging down there. And I'm going to put another piece of tape over the top of that. Okay, and then with the piece where you folded it over, you're now going to stick that, the folded side running along the top. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow that piece of acetate in the middle to just hang right down like so. Hopefully you can see that. Then what you need to do is add tape to the bottom tab there, and then that will stick over. Mine's obviously a bit shorter. Picked up another piece of acetate. I don't know what I've done there. So I'm just going to run my tape just along top, but yours should come and cover that whole 1/2 inch piece. So I'm just going to use a thinner tape here, but I'm going to be covering it again anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So now make sure that piece of acetate's right at the back. You don't want to get that caught up when you're sticking this piece down, but just lie everything flat. There we go. So we've got our tent fold, and you should have that piece of acetate just swinging in the middle there. So that's the card. So now I've got these pieces and the frames and stuff all ready to decorate. Now my frames, you can cut strips and then make a similar effect. To actually get this little crossover, I've added a strip through the middle here. So if I just show you the dies, so you get all your mats and layers, and then this is the main one here, this die in the middle, which will cut the frame. But then I've used the square, and that's what I've run through 4 times, which will give me this shape. And then I've cut just the bottom or one of the sides off to give me that piece in the middle there. Okay, so I've already added the tape onto all of mine. Why did I not do that one? Okay, I need to add some tape onto that one. I'm not sure why I didn't do that. I've done my brickwork. This is going to go along the bottom, and then you can see how they cover the tape of the glue at the top there. Now the way that I done this, it's going to be different for everyone. Hopefully you can just kind of get inspiration from how I'm doing all of this to get a similar look. So I'm going to stick this one over the top of this one, like so. And then I'm probably going to cut the bottom off actually, because when that goes over the top, the way I did it was that, yeah, you just see, yeah, the bottom like so, and then that's going to go over that one and so on. So you want to stick two together like that. I'm going to take my backing off. I'm going to line it up the top there, and then that should just run nicely down the side. Oh, the reason why I've left that one is to show you. So that's just a piece there you can see from the top. So I'm just going to flip this one over, add a little bit of glue in the middle on each side there, and then just pop that down. There we go, like so. And now that one can go over the top there, and then that one over the top. And then I'm going to again focus along the top, but with this side. Like so. And then just pop some tape on the back of this one and stick that down the same. Okay, so now we have that really lovely effect. Now you could have a really thin piece of brickwork, which now I'm kind of tempted because I really like having lots of the windows, because once we start sticking these onto the acetate, I think it's going to look really sweet. So I think I'm going to go even shorter. I might use the rest and pop it inside, so it's more of like a fancy greenhouse or something. So this bit's up to you. Look, you can have it as thick as this piece, which is, again, probably 6 inches is going to be what most of you will have done your card. I've done mine just because of these frames, but you'd either have it 6 or the 5 3/8 by, this piece is 2 1/4, but I'm going to now do like 7/8 of an inch. Just want a little bit of that white at the bottom showing. Okay, I've trimmed it down even more. This is now 3/4 of an inch. I'll pop some foam on there because I thought it would look quite nice, just slightly lifted. And then I can just run that along like so. Okay, so that's the card finished. It's hard to see because obviously this acetate falls back, but when it stands up, this piece, you can see it floats just perfectly, and if I kind of hold it in place, that's how it looks. So inside there I have a little armchair, I have a table filled with plants, I've got a little plant on the floor there, another one there, and then I've got my wallpaper, and then on the back I've just used a bit more of that brickwork that I had, and then the leftovers. So I ended up taking the wallpaper from, but actually all of the chair and everything is from the Paper Discovery collection. Olga's really good with her scene building, so there was just the perfect papers. So this one's actually taken from the nursery backgrounds, but I've just gone for the cream stripe there, but you've got some other really nice ones there as well. And then this is an old set of hers. I can't remember what this one's called. If it's still available, I'll link it. But I use the armchair, so you get your outline die and the detail. I just use the detail as a stencil. You can see that there, and then there's the table. You've also got the lampshade there and other plants, telephone, the fireplace. I've done cards using this die set. So yeah, like I said, if I can find it, I'll share it. But I'm really pleased with how this one's turned out now. I think it looks lovely as a little, like I said, conservatory or greenhouse, a shed. Change the colours of the frames and it can be all kinds of things, I think. So yeah, there you have it. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. I will link, as always, the product in the description box below, and I'll be back again very soon. Take care. Bye.